The City of LaPorte Historic Preservation Commission meeting for July 15th. It is 5:30 PM. We're calling this meeting to order. Let's start with a roll call. Bruce Johnson.
Present.
Peter Steele.
Here.
Fonda Owens. Here. Of course, I'm Sally LaRocco, the chair. We have the wonderful Deb Parcell from Indiana Landmarks. David Heinold, our city planner. Absent this evening is Krista King. And of course, we have Drew Buchanan, our city council liaison, joining us as well. Let's start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
David, do we need to hold the approval of the meeting minutes since we don't have Krista here with us tonight? Okay.
Correct.
So because we don't have a quorum with us this evening, we will hold the approval of the meeting minutes from June until next month when Krista is back with us. Moving on, correspondence reports. We don't have anything, correct?
None.
No. Of course, committee reports, Sunflower Fair, Krista's not here and she's leading that up, so we'll table that for August. But we do get to talk about the coloring books. Take it away, Bruce.
I started calling schools today. Nobody's there yet in their offices. It's still too early. So I'm guessing anytime now that they will be getting back to getting ready for school. I think school starts August 17th or something. So anyway, but I went to talk to Hawkins and they are ready whenever we are. So but I wanted to give you a list of the sponsors that we had this last year. Maybe somebody could help me to contact some of these people and see if they will do it again. I've already talked to the Historic Society and they voted last night to support it, $100. Is planning on doing it again. Do you know anything about that, Peter?
No, I think we'd have to vote on it, but I'm pretty sure that we will.
I'll be in touch with Mark.
Okay.
So if any of you can contact these people, it will be greatly appreciated. It's a lot of work calling all the schools, and of course we have only 8 schools now because Lincoln is the only school. So. But we still will have those students in other schools, so we still will need about 500 coloring books. So I'll be calling. I'll try it again next couple of weeks to see if they're
Yeah, we gotta count, yeah.
enrollment numbers.
I'll talk to Rita Beatty from Coldwell Banker, and then you can also put Win Home Inspection on the list this year. We've done it before, we just didn't do it last year.
Who on it?
Win Home Inspection, that's my business.
Oh. Okay.
There might be an email sitting somewhere with my logo in it.
Okay, yeah, they need to vote.
All right, I'm excited. I love that this project gets its maximum impact for low dollars, which is awesome. Any questions for Bruce before we?
Is there a set amount, Bruce, that you typically ask people for?
Each one of these is donated $100.
Okay.
Doesn't have to be, could be more than that. But that's what we've been doing. One thing is we usually have more students each year, and so we started out with, I think, 10 sponsors, and then the price keeps going up each year. So.
And we always offer the remainder, like the previous year's coloring book at the Sunflower Fair as well, so that we don't have some weird stockpile of coloring books in the basement of City Hall somewhere. And we've done a pretty good job of not carrying them over from year to year, right? The coloring books. We've never had like a surplus of coloring books.
Not
Yeah.
much.
All right, any other questions for Bruce on the coloring books? Oh,
Do we have any money, do we have a treasurer that we could be a
a sponsor?
sponsor or not?
I mean, I would be willing to access the discretionary fund for $100. The other account, the one that
It's just been sitting
just
there.
sitting, waiting for us to come up with a really good. Well, we certainly would, the HPC would certainly love to be a sponsor, but we can't vote on it without Krista here.
I just wondered if we had some money, we've been spending money on anything, so
Yeah. That's fine with me.
as long as we are
Let's put that on the agenda for next month, David, just,
financially sponsor it as well.
Mhm.
It's just a thought, so. Okay.
okay. Okay, old business. We need to do one more workshop before the end of the year. We had a window workshop kind of tentatively planned, and then we never got it across the finish line. So either we need to reschedule that or schedule something else. Deb, do you have any ideas?
Well, we could try for that. We had one scheduled in Logansport. That one got canceled for lack of participation. We only had 4 people sign up, so that was kind of rough. But that was a 2-day workshop, so that was a little more of a commitment. We're doing one in Kendallville next month, August, and one in South Bend in September. So I would think that we could maybe do that. And now we have the capability of Eventbrite without going through our marketing department, so that makes life a little easier.
Peter had volunteered his property. We were kind of hypothetically talking about doing another, like, masonry, tuck pointing.
That would be a good one.
And there's some to be done at his house.
That was fun last time.
And it was really well attended.
Oh, mercy, yes. Almost too many people. We couldn't hardly get them in the space. Yeah.
And this one, I think Peter kind of talked about it being more outside.
Yeah, it's outside. It's on a block wall on a barn.
Is there, like, do we have to have that done by October? Like, for exterior masonry? Do you know if there's kind of like a weather?
It kind of depends
Restriction?
on the year, but usually by the end of November, usually is. After that, it's kind of hit and miss, depends on the weather,
Can you?
when
talk-
it's outside.
Do we want to have the same person that did the foundation at the Rumley Mansion come do that? Is that the hope?
Yeah, I kind of interviewed another person, but I don't think they're a good choice. But yeah, I think, was it,
Imre Kurik was the guy who did it. I Fix Bricks. He's great and fun, and he does a good workshop, so
Well,
I could check with
Yeah,
him and
could-
see his availability.
right. And then if we are, like, collecting a $5 admission, do we offer a stipend to him for coming, or?
We
Yeah.
should do that.
Okay,
Because I'm not sure where he's located these days. He was in Goshen, but I think he's moved even a little farther east. So he is going to have a little drive, so.
okay. And then maybe we should get a second person on the list then. Does the gentleman that did the hazmat
Mhm.
presentation, would that be something that he could also cover? Like
it was Paul Hayden, right?
Paul
Paul
Hayden, yeah.
Doing the actual, like, work of the tuck pointing, or would that not be his?
He does a little bit of everything.
Okay, of course he
And
does.
Our only opportunity to get him is through the end of December. And
Okay.
he says he is thoroughly retiring and will not even be doing workshops after that.
Okay.
So I can,
Well, maybe let's have him as a second option
Okay.
if the I Fix Bricks. I mean, I would rather do the workshop with somebody that then a homeowner can, like, if they want to hire someone to
Right.
do the work,
mhm.
they have access to. So if Paul Hayden is, trying, good luck, buddy.
Yeah.
Trying to, we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, he's been retiring for 10 years, let's just say that. So I kind of hope he keeps on. He's good.
Well, you know, you find something you love, you'll never work a day in your life.
Right, I've heard that.
Okay, well, let's keep him on the back burner and see if
Okay.
Pete can do the project. And do you have a problem with us letting him pick the date
Within reason.
within reason? Okay.
Okay, I'll reach out to him right away and see what's available.
Um,
And we're thinking a Saturday morning, probably,
Mhm.
right? Okay.
Let's see, and then October 9 through 16 is off the table,
Okay.
because I'll be in Scotland.
Okay.
All right, so let's see, we've got that. The next thing on our old business is the Section 106 review for the adaptive reviews project of 205 Rumley. That's the old Coke building. I mean, basically, the finding is there's little to no risk to adjacent contributing properties. This property is sitting vacant, and the city's been trying to do something with it for some time. It's got some cool Art Deco features. The proposal for the project is, you know, kind of meeting the at-minimum code specifications for the neighborhood. I, for one, think that an occupied building is better than an unoccupied building. And you know, it's not, it's also, the building's kind of industrial and it's in a residential neighborhood, so it's kind of gonna turn it more into a residential leaning. I think go for it. David, I can't remember, do we need to make a recommendation or just say, yeah, go ahead?
I don't think we actually have to vote on anything, but, you know, the commission could, if you so choose, to make comments or recommendation. If you agree with the letter, concur, I don't think we necessarily need a vote for the chair to sign it. We could do that over an email, too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
can we send that out to everyone?
Yeah, David, can you
You
send
concur,
this
yeah.
out to everyone?
Oh, I didn't know it was in my packet. Sorry about that.
Well, let's, especially because Krista's not with us
It's not in my
tonight, and
packet.
she has that architecture background, let's, you know, kind of this property is not like on the local designation list, so we don't really have any actual say. They're just asking for our input on this, but they can still kind of, within reason, do whatever they want. So let's review this, and we'll put together a comment to send on to them if we have one. From what I've read about it, I think this is a great opportunity to kind of help change the streetscape of that neighborhood, because the building's just sitting.
To clarify, the proposal is for the adaptive reuse of the existing building.
And there's some addition being put on it.
So this item, Section 106 review correspondence, we had one earlier in 2023, if you recall, at an Historic Preservation Commission meeting. They have since changed that to their request for grant funds, and so hence why they have to go through this process again, is for demolition of the structure.
Oh, they're taking
So,
it down.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not in support of that.
I guess I feel like if I can save every historic building, I want to. But for me, there's things that are a better use of our energy and influence, like the Maple Ave corridor, for example. that because this building is deteriorating, I mean, I would rather have control of the train station, for example, than, I don't know, I guess I feel like I'm willing to let this go to get something else, I'll say it. Like, that's how I feel.
Well, so looking at the photos of the exterior, it looks like it's already been through some changes over the years. Like it's pretty much a square brick building from the outside, from what I can see in the pictures. I haven't like gone over there and driven around the exterior because it's probably been through some changes over the years. So the features that you're talking about, are those primarily inside?
So
It's mostly just the front door facade, right?
the features itself would be for the proposed replacement building. And so what Sally mentioned before with making it compatible with the neighborhood, our zoning ordinance does require, basically to a bare minimum, standard divisions and breaks for like per 20 feet section. So there has to be some sort of plane has to change, or in the roof line has to change. It can't just be one long structure. And so like a house, you
No,
look at like the houses around it.
And-
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not exactly what I'm asking. So a new structure
Yeah.
would be residential in its look and function.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because it's supposed to fit with the neighborhood and it's supposed to look residential, right? Whereas this building looks industrial, sort of, right? But I guess what I'm asking, in some projects where buildings are demolished, you can preserve some of the
Some
architectural
components.
components of that, and they can be used in some manner inside of the new building as a way to, that's why I'm asking, are the architectural features, are those inside, are they outside? What is it you're trying to preserve, and is there a way to use those elements in the construction of a new building? Because that way, it would bring together, I've worked on some projects like this where you're preserving things, you have to make sure that your construction team understands,
Yeah.
and it has to be actually feasible, and it can't be terribly expensive to do so, right?
Yeah.
But if you can use a door frame in your lobby, for instance, why wouldn't you do that in some manner? To be creative with the historical features and speak to the history of the site in some way.
It did sound like that could be a possibility, and if so, if the commission did choose, there might be an element to help save maybe some features
Right,
of the
so
building. That could be a recommendation.
Couldn't that be part of our comment
Yeah.
back to say, if there's a way to preserve some of the historical features, then we would expect that effort be made to incorporate those into the design of a new facility or building, or,
Anybody want to look at the elevations?
Oh my goodness, you really have it in your
So-
packet.
The ghetto of the future.
Is the same group that was, same people
Same,
are
yeah.
interested in doing either one or either?
Yeah, it's the same.
Because I know there
yeah.
was so much controversy over it with the neighborhood.
And there was a lot of pushback from the neighborhood when,
I mean, if you're going to tear down the Coke building, then I'd rather see it be more residential than
yeah,
that.
something a little more,
Modular.
doesn't look like a doctor's office. With a steel roof.
yeah, it looks more, it looks, yeah, it looks,
Disappointing.
yeah, it doesn't look residential.
I mean, it,
So if there's any consideration for that. I mean, we all know housing is an issue for our community, so creating new housing is a good thing to do. It's just, I know we all want to do it in a way that works for everyone involved.
I guess I just thought it was still on where we're using the existing structure and adding on to it. Like some facade changes, but repurposing the building.
David, can you tell us why the plan changed?
I can say that there's different funding that is being sought. They are looking at all options on the table, and they have to look at every single option. They're the owners of the property, and so they look at every option available to them, the costs, budgets, things like that. And they're looking at all opportunities for funding possible
Right.
right now. They have to,
Because often renovation ends up being more expensive than construction, new construction, because you run into hazardous materials and then the layout doesn't actually,
Yeah.
makes it difficult to meet current codes.
Well, no, so if
So,
they're,
I mean, I do understand why they may be
constructing-
doing that.
so what David said was like they're meeting the minimum of the code, like ordinance requirements, so they're not, there's no, like they're building a minimum building, and I do think that it's worth it to say for the neighborhood that you gotta give them something more than the minimum. I mean, I don't want, I agree, like, we should definitely at least make a recommendation that some of the architectural features are preserved, or that it's, like, that building might be the minimum for the code ordinance, but it still doesn't fit in the neighborhood.
Yeah, it doesn't look as residential as you would hope.
Yeah. Yeah.
Looks like a giant double wide to me.
Well, we know how Peter feels about it.
Yeah. So it's just, putting all the thoughts out there on the table. I do understand, like, we all do know that housing is priority in our community. And so trying to work to solve the issue is a good thing. It's just all in getting to a good solution.
Is there any difference in the parking with the new plan from the old?
no, the parking's the same. Yeah.
This photograph, that's the existing front of the building, does that face the parking lot? Or does that face the street? The parking lot's on the side?
The parking lot's on the south side. And,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Oh, okay, there it is.
And so zoning would require front yard setbacks, 20 feet.
So you're gonna have, you're gonna have some green space. Where there is currently none.
Could be good, yeah.
Yeah, there is currently none there, so. Which would also help with a more residential look, is to have a yard and
Yeah.
landscaping.
Softer.
Yeah.
Has there been any kind of further comment from the neighborhood? There were some pretty loud voices in that neighborhood, the first go-round. Peter, would you put your thoughts together in a paragraph or two for me?
Sure. It's hard to comment with as much information as we have, but I'm not sure I 100% agree that a new construction is going to be less expensive than a adaptive reuse, unless there are significant hazardous material issues or something like that, or the roof shot or whatever. We don't know. But where construction materials are right now and going, it's hard to believe that that would be true. I mean, I'll go with the group's consensus if you feel like this is a good thing for the neighborhood and the city.
Well, I
think
definitely.
They can do better. I guess
Yeah, I
that's what my paragraph would say. I think they could do better.
Yeah, I think that oftentimes in like small municipalities, they end up getting the bare minimum. So housing is a need in our community. We all know that. We're all on board with that. We want to be a part of solutions. But I think that it does a disservice to the, kind of like the long-term vision for LaPorte to just go for housing regardless of quality. Because then LaPorte ends up getting the bottom of the barrel again, you know. And often I get frustrated with, people, like the Avenues is wonderful and magical. Like everyone agrees, but we have all of these other neighborhoods that are also wonderful and magical, or could be wonderful and magical. And I don't think that those historic neighborhoods, because this is pretty close to the Walker District, right? Like, I don't think these neighborhoods deserve any less of our effort and advocacy. Originally when the plan was pitched, they were repurposing the existing building and keeping kind of like the historic exterior features synonymous with an Art Deco building. And I'd like those to remain at a minimum, like even if I don't know, I agree, they can do better. We had some other projects, we're in a period where funding is kind of drying up left and right, and so it's getting harder and harder to advocate and work for things because there's no money. And I think they can do better than that, but I would say that if the neighborhood was kind of generally in favor of repurposing or renovating or tearing down that property and turning it into residential, more of a residential fit, I'd be willing to let this one go to save something else, if that makes sense. Ultimately, what I really want is to not let anything go. I just don't necessarily think that's realistic. All right, so we're asking them to do better. I think we're making the suggestion that they.
Who all gets to comment on this, Deb? I think PHLP does and Landmarks
Right.
does.
Yeah, and Todd's putting that together, which I actually haven't seen, but I'm pretty sure we're not recommending demolition. We always like to see
I don't think it's
saved.
far enough gone that even
No,
is.
there's so many good adaptive reuses, and to Peter's point, it's almost always better economically with the rising cost of building materials. And it's wasteful to get rid of that many original materials.
Yeah, it's not very green, even if it is,
No.
even if it was cheaper. But with regard to funding sources, they're cutting out some funding sources that they might have by tearing it down and building new, right?
Right. Mm-hmm. So,
But I don't know. Do you feel like or do you know if they've exhausted all of those possibilities?
It's hard to say. I can't say with, off the tip of my head, if they've exhausted that list. I don't know if they know exactly what's available, maybe. Maybe with the property being in the state that it is. Because right now it's notable. It's not on like a national register list or anything. So
Right.
maybe that might be playing into its possibility.
It could impact
Yeah,
whether or not they're actually eligible for something.
yeah.
So, but I'm sure if they're applying for grant funding, they have to have some sort of rendering to show what they're looking to create. But again, like, I feel like we don't really know why they shifted to this. So it would be good to know.
Peter,
It's a funding gap thing, yeah, it's,
the gentleman that joined us at the luncheon with the new Indiana Landmarks president that was doing SOLA and that building in Hammond, do you remember his name? I'm blanking on his name right
Oh,
now.
yeah. I do not know his name.
I'm wondering, and maybe Mark, since PHLP, because
I
he's the
have
one
it.
that
I
has
can
the
get it.
actual.
I can get it for you.
I would be interested to know, because he's got like a track record with adaptive reuse, and we're trying to find him a project in LaPorte. I wonder if he would even have maybe some ideas of like how to communicate with them about what we'd love to see, you know. He might be a good, even if he doesn't, you know, throw his chips in with this,
Right.
which I don't have an expectation that he would, but maybe he would have a really dynamite idea of how to meet the housing thing and also get them to give us something spicier. Right? Okay, so we've got some marching orders with this.
So can we get the, whoever's leading this, is it a developer or not the architect? But can we get the developer contacts to?
yeah, I
put
can
those-
send, it's Milestone Ventures, I can send
Okay.
that over.
Okay. Any other comments on the Section 106 review for now? Groovy. Okay, moving on, new business. So David and I have a fun idea for the group. South Bend Historic Preservation Commission recently put out a list of like their 10 most at-risk properties. And it served a couple of purposes. It drew attention to properties they'd like to save, helped, I viewed it as like kind of helping create conversations about avenues for people that are interested in preservation or, redevelopers, that kind of thing, to, just kind of notice. Also, everybody loves to see the special house in their neighborhood that everybody just really wants to save show up in a list like that. So I would like us to develop form a committee that is just producing the 5 most at-risk properties in LaPorte list. Kind of as a press release. And I would like at least 3 of those properties to be kind of available for purchase. So I would like it if everyone would just come with an idea of just one building in LaPorte that they think is at risk and needs some attention. I know 322 Lincoln Way is the one that's always on the list for me, because I just think it's the coolest building. It was a newspaper office, it was a gas station. It's a cool one, and it just sits. It needs some gutters so badly. So if everyone's in favor of that, I would love to start a list of just at-risk properties to kind of move on to city council to say we would love your advocacy for these buildings. Okay? Discussion.
I guess if it's for sale, you don't risk antagonizing someone that may think they have plans for it, but are actually not doing anything.
I'm actually kind of okay with antagonizing someone that is sitting on some of our historic inventory and letting it decay. I'm okay with poking them.
Okay, good.
Like, I don't know, do you have a problem with poking somebody that, no, none of us do, we're like, that's fine. I mean, I guess I thought if we have just a couple of properties on the list that are available, available for salvation, that,
So by available, do you mean empty?
empty or for sale.
Okay.
Like that house on Harrison is, I think, is in danger. Somebody needs to save it.
Yeah,
The one across from Boston.
yeah.
That is currently listed for sale.
Mhm. And it still has all its wood windows, right?
No,
No, dang, I didn't get to go through that one with you guys.
yeah, it's gonna be a challenge.
The,
But, I mean, it's not too far gone to be saved. It's in kind of a nice location.
It's in a great location.
Got a big yard.
Big
Got a few
yard,
things going
big
for
old
it.
trees, excellent proximity to the library.
Yeah.
Excellent, yes.
And kind of a quiet street too, now that, Boston isn't functioning in the same way anymore. That would be a great one for the list. So if everyone would just bring a proposal, if you're interested in participating this with a house or a property that you think should go on the at-risk list. We could, I was thinking we could do this once or twice a year. Just kind of telling the story about the property, getting, generating some community investment. And, cause like everybody knows, maybe not everybody, but like people know that the Rumley Mansion is huge and there, and, like let's tell the story about the houses that have declined, that that something needs to happen, Okay, where are we at here? Plenty of time. Your turn.
Well, we have a problem. David asked me to do an educational session. We talked about communication, and I got it ready, and I went to Michigan. No, I went to Michigan City, did site visits, and I had about 45 minutes before I had to be here. Sat down to review it, could not find it on my computer.
Oh, no.
Found I'd saved it to Logansport. When I went to transfer it here, it told me it was a duplicate file. And then I looked back and I did it last year here. So I'm very sorry. I don't want to give you something you just had last year.
Well,
I couldn't come up with anything that fast. So next month, I promise I will get something brand new for you because I'm doing something new for Kendallville, and we'll just make the rounds. I am really sorry. That's
What
what
it-
happens when you have 6 commissions. You forget what you did where.
it's hard to be successful at your job, and then your responsibilities increase.
It's like, oh, I was mortified. So, and I looked, it was even in our CLG report. It's like, yes, we did that here. So
Did that.
we need something fresh, and you will get that in August. I am very sorry.
All right.
Okay.
It's okay.
Indiana Fever playing shortly.
That's true. All right. Any visitors today? Would they like to comment? No. As a reminder to any of our viewers, we would love to have you join us. We meet, what is it, the third Tuesday, second Tuesday? Third Tuesday, every month at 5:30. If you live in an old house or don't live in an old house, we'd love to see you here. Announcements. So, will you hand me that? I gave everybody a flyer, but Newsies is opening this weekend at Holdcraft Performing Arts Center. That's the old Elston Middle School in Michigan City. It'll run for 2 weekends. There are several LaPorte kids in the show. They do a fantastic job. And they've been rehearsing the heck out of the show. So if you want to beat the heat this weekend, come see Newsies. That's
It's
the
also a
only-
great example of adaptive reuse of a building.
Yeah, that is a great example. That building serves as a bunch of things. Ivy Tech is there, the YMCA. They've got the Holdcraft Performing Arts Center that's used by the whole community. I think that there's a preschool there as well. They also have a really cool sundial on the side of the building. That's a neat one. All right. If there are no further announcements, will someone make a motion to adjourn the meeting?
So moved.
Second.
We don't have a quorum, but can we adjourn the meeting? Everybody in favor, say aye. Okay, great, guys. I need you to say aye, yes.
Aye, yeah.
Okay, meeting is adjourned at 6:11 PM. Have a great night.